Let me tell you something right now. You have everything you need inside of you to create the life you've dreamed of. It's not out there somewhere waiting for the right moment to show up. It's here. It's now. It's in you. But here's the thing, you have to be the one to pull it out. Nobody else can do that for you. Think about this: every person you admire, every great story you've ever heard about someone overcoming the odds they weren't handed a golden ticket. They didn't wake up one day and have success delivered to their doorstep. What they had was a decision to rise above, to push forward when everything seemed to be falling apart. They chose to believe in themselves, even when the world didn't. You see, the moment you stop waiting for someone to rescue you, you become unstoppable. The moment you realize that no one is coming to save you, that's the moment you step into your own power. And when you do, let me tell you, the universe will rise to meet you. Doors will open, opportunities will show up, but they don't appear until you do. You've got to show up for yourself. Now let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear has a way of whispering lies in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you might fail. But here's what I know for sure: fear is just a story you've been telling yourself. And the good news is, you can rewrite that story. You can choose to tell yourself a new one where you are bold, courageous, and capable of doing whatever it takes to create the life you deserve. But it's not just about thinking, it's about doing. Dreaming big is wonderful, but action is what brings those dreams to life. You've got to move. Even if it's a small step, even if you're not sure it's the right step, move anyway. Because momentum creates miracles. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you're running toward the life you've always imagined. I want you to remember something. Every single person on this planet was born with a purpose. You are not here by accident. You have a reason for being here, and it's time for you to find it, to claim it, and to live it. The world needs your light. It needs your voice, your vision, your gifts. There's nobody else who can do what you were born to do. So today I'm asking you to make a choice. Choose to believe in yourself, even if it feels hard. Choose to keep going, even when the road feels long. Choose to rise above your circumstances, because you are so much bigger than your struggles. And most of all, choose to live a life that inspires you. A life that when you look back, you can say, I gave it my all, and it was worth it. If this doesn't motivate you, my friend, I don't know what will. Because this is your time. This is your moment. Stand up, step out. Stop waiting for someone to save you. The power to change your life is already inside you. It's a truth that is both liberating and daunting, because it places the responsibility squarely in your hands. So often we look outside of ourselves, hoping for a miracle, a person, or even an opportunity to rescue us from our current situation. But the reality is, the greatest force for transformation isn't external, it's internal. You are the hero of your story, and every single day you have the chance to step into that role. It begins with the decision to stop waiting. Waiting for validation, waiting for approval, waiting for the perfect timing. The moment you stop waiting is the moment you reclaim your power. This shift in mindset is not always easy. We've been conditioned to believe that help must come from somewhere else, that our answers are out there in the world. But the truth is, no one is coming. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of on a silver platter. And that's not a bad thing, because if someone else could give it to you, they could also take it away. The power lies in knowing that you are in control. You have everything you need to start the journey, even if it doesn't feel like it. That power to create, to change, to evolve is already within you, waiting for you to tap into it. And the question then becomes, what are you going to do with that power? Are you going to let it lie dormant, or are you going to use it? The difference between people who thrive and those who don't isn't access to resources or opportunities. It's not about luck or circumstances. It's about mindset. It's about deciding that you are worthy of the life you want and doing whatever it takes to make it a reality. That decision is where the magic begins. The moment you say, I'm not waiting anymore, you shift the energy around you. Things start to happen because you are no longer sitting still. You are moving, and movement creates momentum. And you have to recognize that the life you want is not going to come knocking on your door. You have to go out there and create it. And yes, that takes effort. It takes courage. It takes the willingness to face your fears and push past them. But what's the alternative? Staying stuck in the same place, living the same day over and over, wishing for change but doing nothing to make it happen. That's not living, that's existing. And you were made for so much more than that. You were made to thrive, to grow, to contribute, to make an impact. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of failure. We tell ourselves, what if I try and it doesn't work? But let me ask you this, what if it does? What if stepping into your power changes everything? What if the life you've been dreaming of is waiting for you on the other side of your fear? The only way to know is to try. And even if you fail, failure is not the end. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, a chance to grow stronger and wiser. Every failure brings you closer to success, as long as you keep moving forward. The truth is, no one else can want it for you. No one else can do the work for you. And that's a beautiful thing, because it means that the life you create will be yours. It will be a reflection of your effort, your determination, your resilience. There is nothing more empowering than knowing you built something with your own two hands, with your own heart and mind. That kind of success can't be given, it must be earned. And the journey of earning it is where the true transformation happens. So you have to believe in yourself, even when it feels hard, especially when it feels hard, because belief is the foundation of everything. If you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how many resources you have, or how great your ideas are. Without belief, you'll never take the steps necessary to turn those ideas into reality. Belief is the spark that ignites action. It's what keeps you going when the road gets tough, and it will get tough. But tough roads lead to beautiful destinations, and every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. Don't underestimate the power of small steps. Sometimes we think we have to make big, dramatic changes to see results, but that's not true. The biggest changes often come from the smallest actions, repeated consistently over time. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because progress is not always visible in the moment, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Trust the process. Trust yourself. The power to change your life is already inside you, but you have to activate it. You have to make the choice over and over again to keep moving forward, to keep growing, learning, and evolving. To stop waiting for someone else to give you permission or to make it easier. Life is not meant to be easy, it's meant to be meaningful. And meaning comes from overcoming challenges, from rising above obstacles, from stepping into your power and owning your story. Fear is nothing more than a story. Rewrite it with boldness and courage. Fear has a way of sneaking into our lives, often when we least expect it, casting a shadow over our thoughts, our decisions, and even our dreams. It can feel so real, so powerful that it paralyzes us from moving forward. But here's the truth: fear is not the monster we imagine it to be. It is not a force that controls us unless we allow it to. Fear is nothing more than a story we tell ourselves, a narrative built on what-ifs, doubts, and imagined worst-case scenarios. The key to breaking free from its grip lies in recognizing that it's just a story and stories can be rewritten. We've all experienced fear in one form or another. It could be the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or the fear of not being good enough. These fears often grow out of proportion in our minds, becoming larger than life. But when we take a step back and examine them closely, we realize that many of these fears are rooted in things that haven't even happened yet. They are possibilities, not realities. And here's where the power lies: you have the ability to change that narrative. You can choose to stop letting fear control your story, to stop allowing it to dictate your choices and hold you back from living your fullest life. The first step in rewriting your story is to acknowledge the fear, not as a roadblock, but as a signal that something important is at stake. Fear often arises when we are about to step out of our comfort zone, when we are on the verge of growth or change. It's the mind's way of trying to protect us, to keep us safe, but safety can be a trap. Playing it safe often means staying stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, living a life that doesn't fully reflect who we are or what we are capable of. When you feel fear, it is often an indication that you are about to take a step towards something greater. It is a sign that you are pushing boundaries, breaking free from old patterns, and stretching yourself to new heights. The truth is, fear is not something to be avoided, it's something to embrace, because it signals that you are on the edge of something extraordinary. The next step in rewriting your story is to shift your mindset about fear. Instead of seeing it as something that holds you back, begin to view it as a companion on your journey. Fear is there to remind you that you are alive, that you are pushing boundaries, and that you are capable of so much more than you may realize. Fear doesn't have to paralyze you, it can propel you forward if you allow it to. When you face fear with courage and boldness, you take away its power over you, you stop running from it, and instead you start running toward it. And when you do, you'll find that the more you face fear head on, the less power it has over you. One of the biggest lies fear tells us is that we are not capable of handling the challenges that lie ahead. It convinces us that we are not strong enough, not smart enough, or not ready enough to succeed. But the reality is you have already faced challenges in your life and come out stronger on the other side. You've been through tough times before and you've survived. You have a track record of resilience, even if you don't always give yourself credit for it. Fear wants to convince you that you can't handle what's next, but the truth is that you are more capable than you know. You've handled what came before, and you can handle what comes next. It's not about being fearless, it's about being willing to face fear with the understanding that you are more than capable of moving through it. It's also important to remember that fear is not something you have to face alone. While fear can feel isolating, it is an experience shared by every person who has ever dared to chase a dream, to take a risk, to step into the unknown. Every successful person, every leader, every innovator has faced fear. They have felt the weight of it, and despite it, they move forward anyway. You are not the first person to experience fear, and you won't be the last. What makes the difference is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. You don't have to wait for fear to disappear before you move forward. You can take action in the presence of fear. The more you take action, the less control fear will have over you. Fear can also be a powerful motivator. It can push you to take risks, to do the things that scare you, to grow in ways you never thought possible. When you feel afraid, ask yourself what's on the other side of that fear. What will you gain by facing it? The growth, the lessons, and the breakthroughs that come from pushing through fear are worth far more than the temporary discomfort of facing it. Fear is often a signpost pointing to the very thing that will help you grow. It's a signal that you are on the edge of a breakthrough. And that's a place worth being. One of the most powerful ways to rewrite the story of fear is to change the language you use around it. Instead of thinking of fear as something to be avoided or conquered, think of it as something to be respected. Fear can be a tool, a guide that helps you navigate uncharted territory. When you change the language, you change your relationship with fear. Instead of saying, "I'm afraid, I can't do this," say, "I'm afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway." By changing your language, you shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. You stop seeing fear as a roadblock and start seeing it as an opportunity to grow. Lastly, remember that fear doesn't define you. It is simply a part of your journey, not the entirety of your experience. Fear might show up from time to time, but it doesn't have to dictate how you live your life. You are not your fear. You are the person who chooses to face it, to move through it, and to rise above it. And with each choice you make to step beyond fear, you write a new chapter in your story, one where fear no longer holds the power, but where courage, boldness, and action take center stage. Rewriting your story isn't about eliminating fear entirely. It's about taking the power away from fear and giving it back to yourself. You are the author of your life, and the narrative you choose to create can be one of strength, resilience, and unshakable belief in your ability to overcome anything that stands in your way. Momentum creates miracles. Take the first step, even if it feels small. It's easy to get caught up in the grand vision, the dream of where we want to be, the end result we long for. But what often stops us from moving forward is the sheer size of the goal, or the distance between where we are now and where we want to be. We see the mountain and we get overwhelmed by the climb. We wait for the perfect moment, for the right resources, for everything to fall into place before we take that first step. But the truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. If you keep waiting for everything to align perfectly, you'll wait forever. The first step is the most important one, no matter how small it may seem. Taking that step is what creates the momentum needed to carry you through to the next one, and the next until the journey no longer feels impossible. We often underestimate the power of starting small. In the beginning, it may feel like you're not making any progress at all. It may feel like you're taking one step forward and two steps back. But even the smallest actions build momentum. The key is consistency. The key is not to stop. If you take one small step each day, those steps add up over time. What feels like nothing today can turn into something significant tomorrow. The process of moving forward, even in the smallest way, creates energy that propels you toward your goal. And eventually you look back and realize how far you've come. It's the power of momentum. But here's the thing, momentum doesn't just happen by accident. It's something you have to intentionally create. You have to choose to move, you have to choose to act, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't have all the answers, even when the road seems unclear, the first step is not about having the perfect plan, it's about showing up, taking action, and trusting that the next steps will reveal themselves as you go. The universe doesn't give you the full map right away because you wouldn't take that first step if you could see everything ahead. But when you take that first step, even with uncertainty, you invite the next piece of the puzzle to come into view. I think about the way a snowball starts rolling down a hill. At first it's small, insignificant, and slow. But as it picks up speed, it grows bigger and faster, accumulating more snow with each turn. It gains power and momentum. That's how progress works. At first it may feel like you're moving slowly, like you're not making much of an impact. But the more you take action, the more momentum you build. Eventually, you'll reach a point where things start to accelerate, where the effort you're putting in begins to pay off in ways you couldn't have predicted at the start. And that's when you realize the importance of those small steps you took in the beginning. They weren't insignificant, they were laying the foundation for everything that was to come. The beauty of momentum is that it creates its own energy. When you start taking action, you begin to build confidence in yourself. Each small victory, each task completed, no matter how minor it may seem, adds to your sense of accomplishment. It fuels the belief that you can keep going, that you can overcome whatever comes next. And that belief is crucial. The more you believe in your ability to succeed, the easier it becomes to take the next step. The more momentum you build, the less resistance you feel. You start to move with purpose, and the journey becomes less about effort and more about flow. Momentum carries you forward, even when you hit roadblocks or face challenges. It doesn't mean that you won't face setbacks. It means that you'll have the strength and determination to keep moving, even when things get tough. Many people get discouraged because they think that success should come quickly. They expect results right away, and when they don't see them, they quit. But real progress isn't always instant. It's cumulative. It builds over time, one small step at a time. And sometimes the smallest actions can lead to the biggest breakthroughs. It's easy to overlook the power of consistency. We often think that the big changes, the big moments, are what make the difference. But the truth is, it's the small, consistent actions that lead to lasting change. It's the daily commitment to your goal, the willingness to show up even when it feels hard. That creates the momentum needed to achieve success. The more you stay committed, the more you build the kind of energy that propels you toward your dreams. Momentum also helps to keep you on track when things get tough. There will be times when you hit obstacles when you feel like giving up. But when you've built momentum, those tough times don't feel as defeating. You've already proven to yourself that you can take action, that you can push through. You've already shown up. And that's a powerful thing. When you hit a wall, momentum keeps you moving because it's already been created. It gives you the strength to push through, even when the going gets tough. The momentum you've built becomes your source of resilience. It becomes your reason to keep going. And let's not forget about the power of habit. The more you take action, the more it becomes ingrained in your routine. What once felt like a struggle becomes second nature. You don't have to force yourself to move anymore because momentum has made it easier. The habit of taking action has become a part of who you are. Momentum has created a shift in your mindset. You no longer see action as something difficult. You see it as something dull, natural, something that is simply part of the process. The more you move, the easier it gets, and the faster you move. But here's the key to all of this. You have to take the first step. You have to make the choice to start, even if it feels small, even if it feels insignificant. It doesn't matter how slow you go or how small the step may seem. What matters is that you take it. The first step is the beginning of everything. Without it, nothing happens. Without that first step, momentum can never be created. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the stars to align. Take the step. Move forward. Even if you don't know where you're going or how you'll get there, the act of moving, the act of doing is what creates the momentum you need to succeed. And as you continue to take action, as you continue to build momentum, you'll begin to see the miracles unfold. Opportunities will appear where you least expect them. Doors will open that you didn't know were there. And most importantly, you'll realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The journey may not always be easy, and it may not always be clear, but with each step, you are creating the momentum that will carry you through to success. And the miracles happen not because of some magical intervention, but because you decided to move, to take action, and to trust in the process. The power of your mindset shapes everything in your life. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It determines how you respond to challenges, how you embrace opportunities, and how you move toward your goals. If you believe that success is out of reach, that life is full of obstacles that you cannot overcome, then that's what your experience will be. If you believe that you have the power to change your life, to rise above adversity, and to create the future you desire, then that belief will guide your actions and lead you to a different outcome. Your mindset is the foundation upon which your reality is built. It's the difference between staying stuck in your circumstances and rising to achieve greatness. And the best part, you have the power to shift your mindset at any moment. One of the most transformative things you can do is become aware of the way you think. So often we allow negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt to run the show without even realizing it. These thoughts are like seeds planted in our minds, and if we allow them to take root, they grow into beliefs that shape our actions. If you think you're not good enough, not worthy enough, or not capable enough, then you'll create a life that reflects those beliefs. But when you become aware of those thoughts, when you recognize them for what they are, just thoughts, you give yourself the opportunity to change them. And by changing your thoughts, you can change your life. It's not about ignoring the negative thoughts, but about choosing to replace them with thoughts that empower you. The first step in shifting your mindset is to recognize the power of your thoughts. Everything you experience in life starts with a thought. Every action you take, every decision you make, is based on the thoughts that run through your mind. Your thoughts influence your feelings, your behaviors, and ultimately your outcomes. If you think you're not capable, you're going to hesitate to take action. If you think you're not worthy of success, you're going to hold yourself back from pursuing your dreams. But if you think you are capable, if you believe you are worthy, then you will take bold action, make decisions that align with your goals, and create the results you desire. To shift your mindset, you must first take control of your thoughts. One powerful way to do this is through positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are simple, powerful statements that reinforce the beliefs you want to cultivate in your life. When you repeat affirmations regularly, you begin to rewire your brain. You replace the negative thoughts with thoughts that are supportive, empowering, and aligned with your highest potential. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," try saying, "I am more than capable of achieving my goals." Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," say, "I am powerful, and I have everything I need to succeed." Affirmations help to retrain your mind to focus on your strengths and your potential rather than your limitations. Another key to shifting your mindset is to focus on growth, not perfection. So often we get caught up in the idea that we have to be perfect, that we have to have everything figured out before we take action. This mindset leads to fear, self-doubt, and inaction. But when you adopt a growth mindset, you understand that mistakes and setbacks are not failures, they are part of the process. Every mistake you make is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by being perfect. They got there by embracing failure as a necessary part of the journey. They took risks, made mistakes, learned from them, and kept moving forward. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You become more resilient, more determined, and more willing to take action, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to where you want to be. Your mindset also plays a huge role in how you handle adversity. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go according to plan. But when you have a positive mindset, you see setbacks as temporary, not permanent. You see failure as a lesson, not a defeat. Your mindset allows you to bounce back stronger after each setback, knowing that it's not the end of the road, but simply a detour on the path to success. When you have a mindset that is focused on growth and possibility, you become unshakable in the face of adversity. You know that challenges are a natural part of the journey, and you understand that they don't define you. Your ability to rise after a fall, to keep going even when things get tough, is a direct result of the strength of your mindset. One of the most important aspects of mindset is the belief in your own worth and capabilities. Too many people allow their self-worth to be defined by external factors, by other people's opinions, by past failures, or by societal expectations. But your worth does not come from external validation, it comes from within. You are inherently worthy of success, love, happiness, and abundance. Your value is not determined by your achievements or your mistakes. It's simply because you exist. When you truly believe in your own worth, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop doubting yourself, and you start making decisions based on what feels right for you. You pursue your goals with confidence, knowing that you are deserving of everything you want to create. Believing in your own worth also means accepting yourself, flaws and all. We all have imperfections, but they don't make us any less worthy. When you embrace who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your successes, and your failures, you begin to live with authenticity. You stop trying to be someone you're not, and you start showing up as your true self. And when you show up authentically, you attract the opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your true essence. The more you embrace your authentic self, the more your mindset shifts from one of doubt to one of self-assurance. You stop second-guessing yourself and start trusting in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. Your mindset is also influenced by the people you surround yourself with. The people you spend time with have a direct impact on how you think and feel. If you surround yourself with people who are negative, critical, or who don't believe in your potential, it's easy to start doubting yourself. But when you surround yourself with people who uplift you, who encourage your growth, and who believe in your abilities, you begin to see the world through a different lens. You begin to see possibilities instead of limitations. You start to believe in yourself because the people around you believe in you. The energy of the people you surround yourself with will either empower or drain you, so it's essential to choose your circle wisely. Find people who inspire you, who push you to be better, and who support your dreams. These are the people who will help you maintain a positive and growth-oriented mindset. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to shift your mindset is to practice gratitude. Gratitude has the power to change the way you perceive the world. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your attention away from what's wrong in your life and instead focus on what's right. Gratitude helps you see the abundance in your life even when things aren't perfect. It shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. When you are grateful, you begin to attract more of what you appreciate into your life. Gratitude allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth, setbacks as lessons, and failures as stepping stones to success. It helps you remain positive and hopeful even when faced with adversity. By practicing gratitude daily, you can train your mind to focus on the good in your life, which in turn helps you create more good. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you have. It shapes the way you see yourself, your potential, and the world around you. When you take control of your mindset, when you shift it from one of limitation to one of possibility, you unlock your true potential. You begin to see the opportunities, the lessons, and the growth that lie ahead. You stop letting fear, doubt, and external circumstances dictate your life, and you start living with intention, purpose, and confidence. Your mindset is the key to unlocking your greatest success, and the choice to shift it is yours.